Because if you move from a 1-year view, what this is, to a 10-year view, it's devastating.
As a cold front sweeps through South Africa, the country also has to deal with renewed problems of load shedding. What are the historical reasons for South Africa's energy crisis? Well, in this clip from an exclusive client webinar, CRA Director Frans Cronje outlines how maintenance problems and a lack of investment in energy infrastructure have led to the current crisis. He also assesses the odds of Mr. Andre de Ruyter's success in turning the energy utility around.
In fact, to start is here with Eskom, where Andre de Ruyter is putting up a valiant fight in the face of almost impossible odds. You follow my dot. 2020/3 is the third week of 2020. And then we move week by week through 2020, and we move into the 20th week of 2021, which is just about now. The first thing we show you is energy availability. This is how much of Eskom's infrastructure is actually, that could be electricity, is actually electricity that's sent into the economy. And it sits at about 60%. To get that number, you must deduct from potential supply, planned maintenance, unplanned outages, breakdowns, and then these little black dots don't really matter. There are other things that break down. And the data is wonderful, because look how, if you're a data sort of person, a chart person, look how well this works. Look how the energy availability factors must rise into the winter, because there's more. And to make it rise, the Ruyter must do less maintenance, to the point that he's just on the verge of having a big problem. And then as spring breaks, he quickly does maintenance. And because available capacity can be reduced. And then a terrible thing happened to him in week 51.
Enjoying this analysis? Click here to sign up for our 30-day free trial for more content from the CRA.
Because for a month, bang, 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 stuff's breaking down. So he has to stop his maintenance program to keep the availability factor. The point is that sitting at 60%, and maybe you think he's holding the line. I think he is holding the line, but I don't think it matters. Because if you move from a 1-year view, what this is, to a 10-year view, it's devastating. That same green line, availability, has fallen from 80% to 60% over a decade, because unplanned maintenance, unplanned breakdowns have got out of hand. It's a creaking, poorly maintained infrastructure. It's beyond a point of return. And our estimates now are that even if the Ruyter gets Eskom right as Eskom, by the end of this decade, the private sector will need to produce a quantum of energy equivalent to Eskom if South Africa is, from an electricity perspective, to be able to emulate emerging market growth rates. But the energy minister, Gwede Mantashe, is dogmatically opposed to lifting the caps on self-production and private production to the necessary extent, even in the face of the advice of Andre, because the cabinet regards the private sector challenging Eskom as a security threat to the country, because it could be a chokehold on economic growth. It's a good example of why the cabinet itself is hostile to the kinds of reforms needed to emulate emerging market growth rates. So Eskom remains a ceiling, but there is a way out. You liberate the energy market, you float the price, you sell Eskom's infrastructure, and you are perhaps away.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis from Dr. Cronje, why don't you book him to address your next board or client meeting? There are details in the description below about how you can go about making that booking. My name is David Ansara. This is the Center for Risk Analysis. Until next time, take care.